Welcome everyone to the Raging Hot Mic podcast. Today we received a very good positive news as regards the 38 kidnapped people or worshippers of the Christ Apostolic Church in Eruku. It was announced by the government of Nigeria and the governor of Kwara State that the 38 individuals who were kidnapped after the church was attacked on Tuesday, November 8th, that they've been successfully rescued. And I want to say a big thank you to the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and then because at the same time you have to give credit when it's due and then criticize when it's important. And then we want to say more of this, we expect more of this, and then less of the kidnap. But to whom much is given, much is expected. Now, with the people rescued, the question on the lips of every Nigerian is transparency. I think Nigerians have the right to know what transpired. Who are these kidnappers? Who are these terrorists? How was the deal negotiated? Because failure of doing that, of disclosing these details, is going to hurt the process. Because it's going to seem like we are encouraging people to keep kidnapping individuals. If these individuals were rescued, because they said they were rescued, we don't know if they were rescued, we don't know if they were released. Because before today, there was a report that the kidnappers were demanding 100 million ransom on each individual kidnapped. So I don't think it's wrong for the people to be asking questions if this ransom was paid. Was ransom paid to get their release? Were they released? Like, we need answers. It's not just telling us that they were rescued or they are safe and all those things. These people committed murder. It had three individuals, or was it five individuals? Yeah, three individuals who were killed at the church. So we want to see these criminals face the full wrath of justice. Want to see them stand trial. Want to see them convicted. So I don't think the government is doing us any good in trying to cover up. Or I understand they will say for national security, but national security does. We are not telling them to detail how they were captured or how they were rescued. No one is asking that. Because the next thing is the presidential spokesman, the Department of Secret Service will say they can't disclose anything for national security. No, we are not telling them to tell us step by step or who was a drone used or which command rescued the soldiers. So if the soldiers are still at large, we expect them to tell us that they are still at large. And then how were they released if they are still at large? Did the soldiers all of a sudden release these 38 individuals after demanding ransom, which kidnappers never do? No kidnapper kidnaps and then releases every one of them, not halt. So this is, if it continues like this, it was going to be like the government is not saying everything. And transparency is extremely important. Accountability is extremely important because the government is working for the people. They are the servants of the people. It is the people who elected them. Whatever they are doing it with taxpayers' money. And in a very long time, we are seeing not only were they kidnapped, I won't say swiftly because it took like more than 5 days, but compared to the record we've had over the years, it was a little bit faster than normal. And to hear that they are hell and Haiti, none of them is dead, and all those things. But we demand to know better. We want to know better. We want to know what really happened, what transpired. Yeah, because first of all, there's attacks, people are killed, bombed, and there's very little of these guys who face justice. Very little of them, very little cases that make it to the court of law. Extremely rare. So these guys should be, these guys should face the full wrath of the law. They should be standing in court, and if it's possible for it to be televised as example to potential kidnappers or potential terrorists, that if you want to join them, this is what should happen to you. It should be televised. Where it's not about reading the newspaper and then no. We should know the reasons why they did it, their hideouts, and every Nigerian deserves that detail. Because when the government does, the problem is that when the government doesn't do all these things, it seems like they're conniving with these individuals, which I know the government wouldn't is not doing. Let's give them the benefit of doubt. But also it might look like these people have infiltrated the government, that some of them are in government, because that is why people will be asking questions. Why is there no transparency? Why is there no transparency when it comes to this terrorism? Whenever there's a terrorist attack, people should be updated the same way when there's a criminal act, people are updated on a daily basis. We are looking for this individual, this is where he was found, and all those things. Yes, you might not disclose some of the crime because you are looking for the people who perpetrated the crime. But when those people are rescued, then we deserve to know, were they released? Were they rescued? It's totally two different things. And if they were released, what was the condition? Did they go? Who negotiated? Who was the one who negotiated for all these things? Because now it feeds into the rumors of that, it feeds into what is being said, that maybe these guys are conniving with some government officials, which is terribly wrong, and which I doubt is possible. But it is situations like this that makes it look like that, that makes us think, or makes people think that same way. Because he had the former minister of FCT, the former minister of FCT and former governor of Kaduna State, come on live on channels television, Malam El Rufai, and say that the government was paying some of the bandits lots of money for them to keep quiet, or for them not to act or do evil. And then he said if they were trying to deny it, they should come on air and then state categorically that nothing of that sort is happening. And none of them have come to say that. Instead, we see them taking pictures, we see them moving around with these criminals, we see them working with these criminals in terms of physical work, not working as regards working, but we see them taking pictures, we see them in wherever they say there is non-kinetic method of restoring peace and harmony, or whatever, or peace deal, which doesn't just make sense. So we would like the government in the coming days to make it open, to make it clear, to disclose to us who are these individuals, where were they rescued, who was responsible for the attack, where was the attack hatched, and then they should be prosecuted. Once more, we shouldn't play politics with people's lives. That is something that should be discouraged, and we thank the government for rescuing them. At first place, they shouldn't have been an attack, but at least this time around, the government has moved swiftly and have restored order. So we expect them to disclose fully many of these listed things I just said. Thanks to everyone. Have a good day. If you enjoy what I'm doing, smash the like button and then drop your comments and then subscribe. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye bye.